Yeah. Up in the building. Yeah, we lighting up the scene. Crypto gems on radar, chasing every dream. Do your own research, that's the golden theme. We bring the facts, no cap, we keep it clean. Scrolling through the charts, got my eyes on the rise. Vibra got the info, got me feeling so wise. No hype, just the truth, yeah, we cutting through lies. Sharpen knowledge on the daily, watch the profits multiply. From Bitcoin to the altcoins, we digging for gold. Community so strong, never do what you're told. That's the motto, let the story unfold. We ain't selling you a dream, just the facts to behold. Vibra finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep the future bright. Vibra got your back, we ignite your flight. No pump and dump, just the realest advice. We break it all down, make it simple and nice. Every tip, every trick, got you rolling the dice. But with knowledge in your pocket, you can win every price. Vibra finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep your future bright. Vibra got your back, we ignite your flight. So when you're lost in the crypto sea, Vibra's the light, come vibe with me. Stay smart, stay sharp, and you'll always see the best gems shine with transparency.
What is up, fam? Man, that is a much better intro. I'm definitely digging that. Shout out to Jeff Leaks, man. I'm so sorry. He sent me that in August, and I didn't see it on Telegram until a week ago. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, that's gotta go in immediately. So that song is fire. Appreciate you, Jeff, for that. So yeah, guys, awesome day. You're right. It's funny. All the projects I talk about and give you, the charts look like shit. And then all of a sudden, they take off out of the blue. 3 coins today, or 4 coins, have pumped 50% or more in the last 24 hours. And it's so funny. People do not want stuff until it's pumping, until the green candles are there. I talked about XRP for years. No one wanted it at 40 cents. Once it started pumping at $1, oh, is it too late? Is it too late? It's funny how that works, guys. The time to buy is when you look at something and say, oh, man, that looks like shit. I don't know. No one's talking about that. It looks dead. Well, that's the opportunity right there. I promise you. I've been doing this shit for too long. Look at Spectre right here. Up 25% now. AI going to be the narrative. Who knows? Propy, real world asset play, Nakamoto, gaming play. Some nice little gains there. Some nice little gains there. But Dinex is now almost doubled up from 2 days ago. Hit the floor. Some huge news came out. We'll talk about that in a second. Troll on Solana, one of my DeSci coins, put it in a nice little pump. Is it sustainable? I don't know. But when you have a $200,000 market cap, when Solana goes to $400, this thing's going to start to rip. Look at that chart. It just keeps making higher lows, baby. So that looks like a giant pennant. Love to see it. So that thing's going to just go pop. And this is when you want to buy stuff, guys, before it takes off. You know, when Troll had that first run up here, then it has its retracement. Then you want to buy the bottom. Pumps up, take profits. Then it comes down 50%. But then this next time, really, we didn't get a pump. So now we're just getting chopped. But that's just a degen play. And then where's the other? Oh, man, what is Jam not on here? There it is, Tune FM. Been talking about Tune FM since the saucer swap, Dovu. Man, feels like forever. And same thing. You know, this chart looked like shit for a long time. I mean, look at this. Months and months and months of doing nothing. And once it got down to these bottoms, I only had 1 million coins before. And up here, it was worth maybe like $300, $250. But the last pump in 2024, where is that? It went 1 million coins went up to like almost $3,000. So I got 3 million coins down at the bottom here and it was worth like $175. And now today, bam, that just shot up and it's worth almost 600. So you have to buy these things when they look dead. All right. I promise, guys, it's the time to buy. I know it's hard to do, but that's what you got to. You know, what up? You're talking about playing the ratios on Pulsechain through staking. No, bro, not through staking at all. So the ratios, right when Pulsechain launched, PulseX was way cheaper. So I swapped all my Pulsechain into PulseX and just let it sit for about a year. And a year later, I was able to swap back 250 million or 220 million PulseX for my Pulse. And that left me with 175 million PulseX as a free bag. When Richard Hart killed eHex allegedly, and it dropped down to 10-1. So 1 hex got you 10 eHex. I swapped 60,000 hex for 600 or like 590,000 eHex. And right now, I could swap that back for 200,000. So I tripled my PHEX bag. That's playing the ratios like that. If you have eHex right now, you're good, bro, because there's nothing you really need to do. If you were holding PHEX, I would say, yeah, you know, maybe swap it into eHex. That's what I had. Everyone that I've been consulting with and doing one-on-ones with, that held regular hex, I had them all swap into eHex, and they all did it. You know, around like 5-1, 4-1, and even some people at just over 3-1. And that ratio is going to keep climbing. Where's eHex? Right here. So if you look at it against hex, so right here, this was like where it was like 6-1. And I swapped maybe like 30 or 40,000. I have them on Twitter. I posted. Maybe I think I swapped actually 60,000 here for 360. And down here, I swapped out, I want to say 50 or 60,000 for whatever it was to get me to 1 million. And now that 1 million can get me back. Like we're at 0.34. So almost 350,000. And I know it was maybe 100 or 110,000. So I've tripled up my hex bag by just swapping back into the other hex and back and forth. So right now, you know, the ratio with Pulse and PulseX, you know, it's kind of, I would almost say it's too risky right now. I don't know what way it's going to move. You know, it climbed up hard and it went 1-1. You know, so I did it down here in like October, right around here in September, where it was about 4-1. It was 3.78 was actually the number. That's what it was. I did 100 million for 378. And then waited until I could profit 175 and get my 100 million back. And now, actually, you know what? Yeah, now if you're holding Pulsechain, maybe it is a good time to swap it into PulseX. But who knows? It could come all the way back down, honestly. Could come all the way back down to here. So for me, that's a little too risky. And I'm just holding PulseX for now because I think it'll do better. But that's just me. Camo Joe, what up? What up? Shout out to the world's greatest P-dye printer. Bro, I got out of that thing. Fuck that. They stopped paying yield. And oh my God, it's at $10, $11. Holy shit. Yeah, I sold out of it around 40. Thank God. Right, this pump right here in July at $40, I got out and just put it right into PDI. And thank God I did, because we dropped down another 80%. And after seeing what happened to every single project, Mesor and Beast and Gas Money, they all fiddled out and went to nothing. So I'm done with the OG Web Chef ecosystem, bro. This is a dead chart. If it comes back, it's because of the liquidity with PDI. So I would just, I don't know. I cut my losses, but I was trading it though back here. Where like I was buying them down here at 40, $50 and then selling them up at 120 and then buying them back down on the dip. And then finally, when it hit 40 here, I just bought like 10 of them and kept it. And then finally, it just would not. Once I saw this, it just could not break through. It like quadruple tapped $80 and then fell. I sold half of them, maybe like 60, and then kept 4, and then watched it bleed, and then got out right here. That was it. So it was fun while it lasted. Looking forward to the Pulsechain talk. Yeah, it's coming, bro. Gotcha. Thanks for the go. I'm excited for things to pop off. Yes, sir. Anytime, brother. You got questions, bro, feel free to ask. Like, I'm here to help. Like, I want you guys to win and not listen to these other idiots out here that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So Cubic, I've been showing you guys the QX website here, qx.cubic.org, that shows all the different assets on here you can buy. And there's a way better one, cubictrade.com. It lists everything out. And holy shit, QMine is going nuts. This is crazy. I started buying some at 400 cubic, and then I bought a bunch more at 750, and then today I bought a couple 100 million cubic worth at 1,000, and it's already up 30%. So all the ones I bought today are already up 30%. This thing is going crazy. So I own QMine. I have a couple QCap and then Q Vault, which is I paid 400 million for, and it's worth 600 now. So I'm up like 300 million cubic just from diversifying it into these other ones, while all my other bag is staked. Oh yeah, I have a Q earn too. I don't know why that's not on here, but that's worth like 40 million cubic. So this, if you want to see your stuff, go to cubictrade.com, or if you want to see these or trade them or whatever. So guys, look at this. Stronghold last week at Blockchain Korea, they locked 2 billion Stronghold in a Stellar smart contract, the first step towards interoperability with ETH. What happens when Stronghold locks up 60 billion in smart contracts and then locks up another 2 billion? That trend will continue until the supply being traded is so scarce there's a price shock. Guys, get your freaking Stronghold while it is cheap. I promise you, if you do not own Stronghold, get a freaking bag. I cannot stress it enough. I've spent hundreds of hours doing research into Stronghold, okay? It is not a startup that Jacob and Tammy just came up with. She was the first woman ever hired at Ripple. He was one of the first devs ever hired at Ripple, and they were chosen. Ripple came from our government. Same thing as Palantir, same thing as Google. That's Ripple. This Stronghold branched off of Ripple, okay? You do not fade shit like that. This is how the world works. It's not organic. It's all strategically put together behind the scenes. You can believe me or not. What is the catalyst for what? Pulsechain? Oh, hold on a second, bro. We're going to talk about Pulsechain in 2 minutes. Yeah, I know. Stronghold. Stronghold's on Stellar. Stronghold is on Stellar. It's in the Lobster wallet or Freighter wallet, and you can just go to stellarterm.com and connect, and the DEX is right there. But I'm just showing you guys, like, this is what's coming. Supply shocks. At Dinex, We saw the dildo today. They announced a transition to institutionalized security token and entry into global capital markets. This is huge. There's a $10 million market cap, guys. We nailed the freaking bottom of this. I told you guys about this when I found it May 8th, and I talked about it on so many streams that this is a gem. Look at that. We're still like a 6x to its previous all-time high. And look at that candle today. Boom. And there's a reason for it. Dinex is in the process of issuing securities intended to be listed on major international stock exchange, subject to the receipt of approvals. In parallel, Dinex will move towards a fully transparent chain, is in the process of launching an institutionalized security token. It anticipates a security token to track the equity performance of Dinex's proprietary quantum technology and IP portfolio. Dinex will be eligible for conversion into the security token during a 30-day exchange period starting February 2026. Furthermore, the security will be eligible for conversion into Dinex securities admitted to trading on international stock exchange. Upon implementation, holders will be required to consider their options. Subject to regulatory and operational considerations, Dinex may continue Dinex trading and phase out existing chain thereafter. So I don't know if they're going to force us to move it all, but who knows? Dinex is an award-winning leader in quantum-powered solutions. The quantum as a service technology leverages neuromorphic quantum computing emulations with up to 1 million qubits to solve real-world problems. And guys, the thing that is the biggest for them is the chip that they're building. Okay? This new quantum chip that they're working on, it's a silicon-based chip, and it doesn't have to be an absolute zero like all these other ones. So I'm not going to go through all this, but a lot of you guys have Dinex. If you don't own it right now, it's still a $7.7 million market cap. This thing is freaking criminally undervalued. At the all-time high, it was like $50 million. All right, it's insanely undervalued. Like, this is all their competitors in the quantum field are billions and billions of dollar market cap projects, and they're only a $7 million market cap. So I got a big bag of this. I'm so bullish on it. And if you want to read the article, I will put it in the chat here. Yes, Dinex is on ETH, bro. You got to get the wrapped contract though. You can get it on exchanges, the real one, but on Ethereum, up here I'll put it. It ends in AF15, and then just go to switch.win. It's cheaper than ETH. It's the best place to swap at for sure, by far. Switch.win. Gas is like 8 times cheaper than Uniswap. So you just launch app, connect your wallet, MetaMask, and then whatever, you just plug in Dinex right here, and it's a wrap version. So like if you want, I'm pretty sure you can go to Dinex, their website here, and you can bridge your token over. Yeah, it's on all these exchanges here. Oh, it's on Trade Ogre, the defunct exchange. Or you can download the Dinex wallet. But there's a way to bridge it. I know there is. But yeah, guys, Dinex is an absolute gem. Get into it before this blows up. You know, we found it at the absolute bottom, which was just pure luck. But, you know, when hard work and preparation, that's how luck happens. So negatives, we might see some sell pressure from short-term traders. The positives, The company's evolving from just a blockchain project into a global powerhouse, something that can only happen with strong backing behind the scenes. Listing securities and converting the token into shares opens the door for institutional investors and major capital flows. It's natural to see strong buying before the launch, as investors will want to accumulate Dinex to convert to shares. Logically speaking, the project's a huge idea, and this at scale, it's unrealistic to remain fully decentralized. If this step succeeds, Dinex become a real player in the quantum computing industry with massive potential. Of course, there's risks. At the end of the day, I'll convert my holdings into shares in the future and keep long term. And that's the thing. Say you get in now at 7 cents and it runs back up to 30, 40, 50 cents. Pull out your initial investment and now you're free rolling. You have nothing else to lose. That's how you win in crypto. You look at your downside risk. How much can I lose from stuff like this? And where we got in at the bottom at under 3 cents, we can't lose now. Unless it goes to zero. But, I think I put $1,000 into it, which was a lot for me. And if it goes to 50 cents and I could sell 2,000 coins, I'll pull my initial out and convert all the rest and have 38,000 shares of it. And I'll be super happy. And a lot of you guys will too. Dinex is a $10 billion market cap, LARPing at $3 million. Yeah. Yep. Bro, it's one of the best opportunities here. And that's the thing, bro. We found it in May. And that's the thing. You have to hold these things. If you find a coin and you do the research and you have the conviction in it, it's okay holding it. We're in a bear market. The macro economy sucks. All the data and the numbers are being fudged at record numbers. It's all bullshit. The economy, we've been in a recession for years. So, we found it in May at 3 cents or 2.8 cents, wherever, down here in May 8th. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Down at 2.5 cents, under 2.5 cents. So, you could have sold at a double up here and rebought and sold at a 4X and rebought, but I don't care. I bought at the bottom, and once it moved back up and down this here, it never really came below 3 cents again. I don't care. I'm in this for the long term. Cryptos are long-term investments for me. I don't buy bullshit coins. I'm buying shit that I can buy now and hold, and I can earn and live off of that passive income in the future and just have patience. And that's what Pokemon cards have taught me so much. It makes it so easy to hodl crypto when you go and you buy a box of Pokemon cards that just got launched and I'm not selling this thing for at least 5 years, hopefully 10 years. And you just put it in your closet or you set it out and you stare at it all day. And you just know, I'm not selling that thing. I don't give a shit. And that's helped me with crypto so much. So you just buy the gems at the bottom and just let the pump come to you. And it will. And speaking of the bottom, now we're going to talk about why Pulsechain is literally one of the... it's not all an illusion. Dinex is far from an illusion, bro. Do research into it, bro. I promise you, 99% of crypto is all an illusion. But there are about 50 or 75 projects that are going to change the world and become the future Amazon, Dells, and household names like Stronghold, like Flare, like Hedera, and hopefully Dinex. Dinex is super risky, but Dinex is how I treat a high-risk altcoin. Instead of going and degening on some shit coin on Solana, I'd rather degen into a coin that if it pays off, it's going to $1 billion of market cap. And if it doesn't, okay, wow, I take my profits in a couple months, or I take my initial out and I lost nothing. And if those could be your losses, you're going to fucking crush it. And Pulsechain is one of the most undervalued cryptos out there. Hands down. All right. Ethereum came out in 2016 and it did not have a fifth of the community around Pulsechain. And when Richard Hart announced the sacrifice for Pulsechain, $1 billion came in less than 20 days. What the community, the passion the people have, the stuff that people do, the conferences, all of the merchandise. There's so many incredible people that sacrifice and put their own time into pumping their bags, marketing the chain. That we are what Ethereum wishes they could be. Pulsechain is a better Ethereum. From when it launched, we are in a better position. The chart doesn't show it, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We have more in the Pulsechain sacrifice than Coinbase's reserve. We have 166,000 Ethereum in the Pulsechain sacrifice. That can be used at any point, or it can just be used as a flex to say, look, we are never going anywhere. There's $700 million right there. If ETH gets to 10K, there's $1.6 billion sitting in that wallet. That can be whatever you want it done with it. It's not up to us. We all sacrifice that money knowing we will never have any say in what gets done with it, and we were all okay with that. Richard's first project went up 10,000x. How many projects went up 10,000x and are still around with a community? A handful in all of crypto. Richard knows how to pump a chain. So even if you don't have Pulsechain right now, I sacrificed back in 2021, 2022, 21, I think it was. And if you put $1 million in, it's worth, I think, $36,000 right now. So think about how much you're down. If you sacrificed $1 million and just held and didn't do anything else, you're down 7%. So right now you could come in and buy into Pulsechain, and $1,000 is literally the equivalent of somebody that put in 70,000 or something like that. So you have a better opportunity and a better buy-in. It's just like me with Dinex. We came in and found the absolute bottom, pure luck. If you don't own Pulsechain right now, you come in, you're buying it right at the bottom, right at Dinex levels, which is pretty funny. It's funny how that works. But luckily, I sacrificed. I played the ratio, so I more than doubled my bag of PulseX, and then I got into PTGC early, and that absolutely crushed it. But Pulsechain, it's just completely chopped ever since launch. We had one nice little run up, but that didn't count because for the first 3 days here, people didn't have access to stuff. People couldn't get gas over there. It was a huge problem. So you can't even count like this first week. Like this in March here, we got up past sack rate for a little while and then never ever again. So your entry point here is absolutely immaculate. We are ETH 2.0. Faster, cheaper, better. You couldn't use Ethereum last cycle. I remember spending $600 to end a hex stake, but it was worth 15K or something like that at the time. So it was great. So I don't think Pulsechain was necessarily one of Richard's plans, but once they changed the S load function and did that to fuck Hex on purpose, I think that was when Richard said, all right, I need to, Hex cannot thrive on Ethereum. It doesn't work for small people. So Pulsechain had to happen. And we all got copies of everything and doubled our bags. And a lot of people don't know that Hex actually, back in 2020, made Uniswap popular. Hexagons were the first ones that really blew up Uniswap. So Richard Hart pretty much made Uniswap popular in a sense. You know, who would have thought? You know, every other L1 out here inflates like crazy. People even say, oh, you didn't know? Ethereum's deflationary, bro. What are you talking about? ETH's deflationary. Really? Really there, Timmy? Oh, okay. Well, that's funny. Because ETH is just, the L2s destroyed ETH's deflationary mission. Once it hit April 2024, that was probably the top of when Arbitrum and Linea and all these L2s launched and sucked all the fees off Ethereum. And ever since then, it's been inflating. And even this year alone, they've pumped 200,000 ETH into the supply. So how much money is that? $500 million. Like, what the fuck? That's every single L1 out there. Not Pulsechain. Pulsechain is deflationary. 8.4% of the supply is already burnt. That's crazy. How much? 7.8% of all holy shit. So, wow. Pulse has burnt more than PulseX, and that was not the case. So, holy shit. What was the thing that made Solana popular? But why is Pulsechain better than Solana in a sense? Because Solana has never-ending inflation, and they have never-ending sell-threat pressure from the number one fee generator. Pump.fun takes all those fees and dumps it right back on the community. Pulsechain, Richard Hart said, okay, I'm going to launch Pump.tires. And what is it? And all of the fees go to burning Pulsechain. So people say, oh, it goes against his ethos. You know, he doesn't like me. Yes, it goes against his ethos. But you know what? It was needed to bring on new users. It's part of crypto culture now, this meme coin, shitcoin phenomenon. And the fees are now used to burn Pulse. And since this launched, it has now passed PulseX. That's nuts. And even Inc. 0.2% burn, but I don't know how that's possible when Inc. keeps inflating. So I don't know why that even matters. But you have PulseX, which is deflationary, and Pulsechain, which is deflating even faster now because of Pump.tires and just probably use of the network. That's unbelievable. Huge, huge, huge plus for us. And that this was strategically done by Richard, I think. And he's the marketing king. When the Pulsechain sacrifice launched or was going on, he raised $27 million for medical research to try to save your life. Vitalik gave millions to the same charity. He wrote free self-help books, founded a project that went up, da-da-da-da-da. The people that insult and lie about me have done none of the things for you or for themselves. They defame me, cheer on attacks against me, but they know nothing about me because they don't want to know. They feel that the more people know about me, the better things I founded will do, and worse things I founded will do. Their defamation is targeted and purposeful. The haters feel there's profit for them in lying to you. Win and keep winning. All the defamation and censorship hasn't stopped me. It won't stop me. I'll make this world a better place, no matter what it takes. I owe it to my ancestors. I owe it to future generations. I owe it to myself. We're blessed with a wonderful opportunity. We stand on the back of giants. We need only harness the power we've been given. Our path is true and honest, and our goals are noble. Perhaps our path is more difficult because our calling is higher. That is the fucking GOAT right there. That is not fake. That is not some publicist bullshit writing for him. Richard is the king marketer. What did he do? Bought the Enigma diamond for marketing last cycle. 5,555 carats. So now the Enigma diamond, Richard James Schuler purchased it for $4.3 million in cryptocurrency. So he does stuff for publicity. He knows what he's doing. The marketing tablets, people are laughing at it. But guess what, guys? These things are going on eBay and selling for hundreds of dollars. So they are generating eyes. Believe it or not, it's working. People are talking about it. I didn't think it was going to be a thing, but man, it is. And the foundation of the core of a project, besides its founder, and yeah, it has to have some utility, but community, guys, that is the most important thing. And look what the community's doing here. They are the ones taking all the time out of their day to mail out all these mailers. We're the ones that put together the Hex Tour in 2021. We hosted the Albany event. It took me a lot of time in planning. I raised money from sponsors to give everyone their Hex that showed up. Like, we went out of the way. All the conferences that are being hosted. I'm going to be speaking at the PDI conference coming up in a couple weeks that Coexistent Steven is hosting. But guys, there's no other community in crypto as passionate as this one. Like, I've been here from the beginning. You know, Richard is ahead of his time. All right. Who else, when you go and you use Pulsechain, it's IPFS, interplanetary, whatever it stands for. But that means we run PulseX. When you go there, you run it from your own desktop. When you go to pulsex.com, you go here and you can run it right here from your desktop, your own original code from your own desktop. Richard is thinking ahead. This is the future of where everything is going, decentralized. I know right now there's a lot of centralization, but in 5-10 years, all the volume is going to be going through DEXs and decentralized exchanges. That's why I'm so bullish on Saucer Swap, on Hedera, and Sologenics on the XRP ledger. Because I know that's where the volume is going to be. Like Coinbase and these guys are going to be more custodians where, you know, you hold crypto in Coinbase to where you say, you know, you send in some stable coins and you buy some tokenized treasuries that yield 5 or 6%, or you go to Franklin Templeton and you send in, you know, you take profits on crypto, on some altcoin, you send some stable coins in and you buy some of their tokenized money market funds that are paying 6-7%. And so instead of cashing out or going into stable coins and sitting there, fuck that. We're going to be taking our stable coins and buying, you know, money market funds or all kinds of different yield opportunities. That's coming so soon, guys. But that's a different world than what Richard's building. Everything Richard's doing is zero competition to the XRP, XLM, H-bars of the world. It's the perfect balance for your portfolio. So, guys, it's so obvious to me. Pulsechain has everything there. And all the stupid FUD can be dismissed. I've been in the community since before it launched. I was in the adoption amplifier before Hex launched. I was there for Big Payday, everything. there at all the first meetup in Vegas, the Pulsechain conferences. I've spoken at 3 of Maddie's online ones, doing the PDI conference. Like, I've seen everything here. And it just got so toxic and so crazy that there was no point of even streaming about it. Instead of talking about drama and bullshit on Pulsechain, I'd rather show you guys about Dinex and show you guys about Dovu and show you guys about Stronghold and Flare and Cubic and all these other gems out here, so we're not wasting our time in bullshit. We're out here actually finding other gems. And now we've had so much time to stack them. I think the next 5-6 months are going to be crazy. I think we're going to run until March, and then we're going to have like a 5-6 month bear market, and then we're going to be rocking and rolling next fall again. That's what I see coming. But what do I know? I'm only here every day. And guys, ETH too. Like, people think like ETH wasn't painful. Look at this, right? If you bought ETH at the top at 384 here in 2017, and you held and didn't sell at 1,500, it ran all the way back down to $80. And then, so that was in 2018. And then in 2020, it ran down to $88 again. So from 1,500, it came down to $80 twice. The same fucking pain we're feeling in Pulsechain right now. All right. It's the same thing. We're a better Ethereum. Your entry point is down at the rock bottom right here. If you don't have any Pulsechain, you need to get a bag. It is zero threat to anything else you have in your portfolio. Pulsechain, Richard Hart is one of the richest founders in crypto. He has probably at least 50,000 Bitcoin, and I would say 1 million ETH outside of that sacrifice on his own. All right. He owns 15% of all DAI in the world. Do you understand how much money this guy has? Exactly, bro. That's exactly. Like, and I know that. And like, I'll sometimes get people like on Twitter or, rarely in here, but that'll come in and just say like the stupidest shit and like the surface level FUD. But I've realized that's bullish. You need that stupid low IQ FUD, because that means you're scaring somebody out there, someone that's holding a bag of something inferior to you, that you're about to crush their dreams. That's why they have to do that. It's like a defense mechanism. PulseX could be a good, bro. PulseX is a phenomenal buy. Pulsechain is a phenomenal buy. Hex, eHex, phenomenal buys. They're all so heavily bonded together, it doesn't really matter which one you get. They're all going to move very similarly. Dinex is already working with IBM. Give us some time. They'll be working with NVIDIA, Google, Meta, etc. Let's fucking go, Goo. That's what I want to hear. That's what I'm doing, bro. That's my plan. When if the price runs up to 50 cents, I'm selling 2,000 coins, pulling out my initial investment of $1,000, and I am converting all the rest into that, and I'm letting it go as a 5-year plus investment. It's like, where's Trading View? Let's look at NVIDIA. Let's see how NVIDIA, let's see. So when it launched in 99 at a couple cents, ran up to 35 cents in 2000, 60 cents in 02, $1 in 07. So it was $1. So from 2001 to 2015, it did nothing. 15 years you sat there with your dick in your hand. But if you had bought in 2015, 2016, then 2017, it hit $2-3. And then in 2019, it dropped back down to almost $2, $3 again. And then it just took off to the firmament. So good things take time, guys. So from 50 cents in 2015, 10 years, 50 cents to $180. But the real move, 2022, almost a 20x in 2 years. But the thing is, all the gains were made when people bought in down here at 5 cents in 2002. If you could have just held, but that's crazy. That's unrealistic. Like Dinex right here, but things move faster nowadays. So you're not going to have to see this. Things move at a much quicker rate. And that's the thing, no one knows. You just have to just position yourself and have conviction and see things that, okay, this is we're moving towards quantum. We know it's going to be a thing. This chip, could it be huge? Yeah. Could it fail? Completely. But if you find a Dinex like that, and then you find XRP, and then Stronghold and XLM, and then you find some real world asset plays like Clearpool, and then Flare for DeFi, for all the non-smart contract plays, and then Hedera for all the Web3 applications, and then Cubic for the decentralized AI. And you just start positioning yourselves in the best projects. All you need to do is hit on 3 or 4, and you can strike out on 7 or 8, and you will still absolutely crush it. So that is it for me tonight, fam. Smash that like button. And we will see you, what's tonight? Tomorrow night, Thursday. Yeah, I'll probably do a stream tomorrow night. Why not? I'm sure there'll be some pump. If not, we'll be here anyway.
At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance. We are the future of crypto.